and a warm welcome to the 2001 Glasgow Grand Prix and World Cup Gymnastics. We're here at the Kelvin Hall with a lineup of gymnasts representing 27 nations, and they're all fighting for a place in the forthcoming World Cup final. Now we have 10 apparatus finals taking place today, 6 for the men and 4 for the women, with a lineup of past and present European, world and Olympic champions. Now there's 8 competitors in each final that have made it from the qualifying rounds, and we start with the first, the men's floor exercise. Now we have a very strong lineup indeed, so we can expect some outstanding performances, especially from one man, Igor Vivrov, and if the other 7 beat him, well, they've beaten an Olympic champion.
Latvia is not a big country, only 2 million people, so first gold medal, yeah, first national hymn in Olympic, yeah, now I'm like little hero in our country, so many people knows me. Yeah, it's very good.
Well, if anyone's going to beat that modest young man, it's this man, Jordan Jurchev, joint world champion on floor. Bulgarian, he opens proceedings. Just a little wobble at the end of the first tumble. But hold your breath here. Absolutely superb. 1.5 twists, 1 3/4 roll. Complex and dangerous. And how's this for a link? He goes on and on. And you heard him exhale there. It's not surprising, is it? A long wait. Doesn't have to include that balance, but it's a good way of composing yourself for what should be a faultless last tumble. Very important. The last impression for the judges. Absolutely spot on. Jurchev setting the standard and challenging very strongly.
The flares on the floor here. We often see these moves on the pommel horse, but he's very strong, able to clear the floor. No chance of the feet touching.
Well, look at him. You wouldn't like to argue with him, would you? 9.725 sets a very high standard. And the young man of the moment, Olympic champion, Igor Vivrov from Latvia. Look for great landings. Always secure, just a little adjustment there. But that first combination successfully negotiated. 2.5 twists and a full twist front to finish it. And the level already extremely high. Oh, and he's gone for that move. That 1 3/4 roll with 1.5 twists. And simple with the linkage, but very economical in terms of giving those vital tenths away. So Vivrov looking very good. Renowned for his clean work and solid landings. He'll need one now, and he gets it. Olympic quality performance. Wonderful stuff.
Tremendous awareness here, knows exactly where the floor is. You see him open the hips out for the landing.
Well, he wants 9.725, he gets that 9.75 in pole position. Igor Virov.
Next competitor represents Latvia. It's Evgeny Sapronenko.
Now, the Latvian's getting a little bit of a reputation for floor and vault. This is Sapronenko. Traditional now to see those rebound somersaults added together to build some difficulty. Very important in the new code. Oh, superb! 1 3/4 front somersault at the end of a very complex twisting run. So, small nation it might be, but they certainly boast some quality, the Latvians. Chasing a 9.725 to get into the medals. Has to include that element of B difficulty, strength static position to satisfy the judges. Now then, on the dismount. And it's unusual and very impressive. Whip over into double tuck. Sapronenko. Great work.
Builds the power through the whip back into the double tuck, times the exit.
Really good to see the Latvians doing so well. And he's tied the score 9.725. He's tied with Yurchev. Virov out on his own. Shared silver then for Sapronenko and Yurchev, while Igor Virov keeps his Olympic standards and takes the gold.
Now, there have been many changes over the years in gymnastics, but the one thing that doesn't change, of course, and that's the order of the finals. The next up is the ladies' vault. But the obvious change, of course, is the vaulting horse itself. Now, this design has been developed over the last 4 years, and it was first used just recently in the World Championships in November. There's many reasons for its changes, but the primary one is of safety. Is it a good change? Well, we'll leave that up to the gymnasts.
I don't know. The first time I saw it, I thought it would be very difficult to leap over the vault. But with time, I got used to it, and now I like it very much. On this type of vault, you can jump in a more complex way, and in a way that no one else has ever vaulted.
From Uzbekistan, Oksana Chusovitina.
A decade in world-class gymnastics. 26 years old, Oksana Chusovitina. 10 years ago, she took a silver medal in Indianapolis on this apparatus.
Absolutely superb performance there. Handspring straight front somersault. Just watch, she hits the vaulting table, lifts straight front, and then a full twist in the somersault.
9.4 for the first vault for Oksana. What's she capable of, Christine?
Well, I wonder, could she put another half twist on that full twist? Well, she does, but the entry's slightly different. It's the turn on. She makes a turn onto the horse, the straight backward somersault. Here we see the turn on, straight backward somersault, then 1.5 twist, but she's got great form.
How can you stay at the top for 10 years? Well, there's a second score, 9.475, 9.437, the average, that's the target. This is Jana Komarskova from the Czech Republic, 18 years old, and in World Cup rankings, she's third at the moment.
And a fairly dynamic vault, but nothing like the good amplitude, nothing like the straight legs we saw from the previous competitor. Lifts off the horse well, but holds that pike all the way round. The judges will take marks off for the step to the side. She stepped outside the white lines.
9,175. She's a tall girl though, Christine, isn't she?
She is, but on this new vaulting table, it's not so critical, and she should be able to get extra height. And that time she does a much more successful vault.
Plenty of repulsion there. It must be something to do with the sprung surface, Chris.
Yeah, the top of this table is sprung, and if you hit it correctly, it really can lift you up into the air.
9,150 for the second, giving her an average of 9,162. Second place behind Jusevitana. Young lady, Verona van der Leur from the Netherlands, 15 years old, and part of the results of the Dutch investment in excellence.
Yes, and again, very good technique. Not such a difficult vault, but very well performed. The gymnasts have to choose how difficult the vault will be. She turns on, full turns on, pike somersault off, just the step outside the lines.
9.05. Now on that first vault, she appeared to me to veer to one side of the horse. Let's see if she can put it right on the second. Let's watch the contact.
Just straight back onto the horse that time. She didn't make the turn on, which made it a little easier to stay straight. Here we see the round off in front of the board. She stretches back onto the table. Very good lift. 2 twists. Excellent vaulting.
You can see the average score
Gets
there,
in between
9.2.
the two leaders. 9.2 her average vault. 9.35 for the second. So first gold for the veteran performer Oksana Jusevitana. Verona van der Leur takes silver and Jana Komiskova the bronze.
Well, it's hard to believe that 21 years have flown by since I last performed on this piece of apparatus, but things have changed drastically since my day. I think we all remember the perfect 10 routine performed by Nadia Comaneci. In those days, we used to beat the bar with our hips. In fact, I've still got the bruises to prove it. But today, as you can see, they use the bars in the widest possible position, which allows them to perform movements between the bars, which we were used to seeing only the men do on one bar, the high bar. It's quite clear that the ladies of today do like a challenge.
So we move to our second competitor in this final from the Netherlands, Verona van der Leur.
And one of the most highly ranked gymnasts on the asymmetric bars. They have to swing on straight arms, and you can see they're absolutely dead straight arms. Very good turn. She swings effortlessly between the bars. The somersault, just a deduction there for the split of the legs. Every move needs to go right to handstand. Just slowing down the swing a little bit, but she's lifting up into a very big double twisting, double back somersault.
Super long lines. This gymnast uses them to great effect. Lovely transfer to the lower bar. Through the stowage, just a slight bend of the arms. And winding up into this double twisting, double tuck. World-class stuff.
Much more difficult for the gymnast to score highly. 8.925 only. The requirements of the judges are much more severe than they were 15 years ago. Full turning giant, a second full turning giant into the Ginger somersault. Very complex difficulty. This is how the difficulty is built. Another full turn. It's the linking of the difficult moves together, one straight after the other, as we see there. Just short of handstand at the top. 2 big circles, swing into a very good double straight.
Kuznetsova there demonstrating her prowess on this apparatus. Once of Russia, now living and made an international career in Bulgaria. Superb clean releases. And I just love this dismount. Double layout, beautifully landed.
She just hangs in the air, doesn't she, Mitch?
Wonderful awareness, and it earns her 8.925, a share of the lead.
Well, the score is out now, 8.925. So we move to Evgenia's favourite gymnast on the bars. We saw her win the vault earlier from Uzbekistan, Oksana Chusovitina.
Oksana, really one of the most experienced gymnasts in the world, was part of the team, the unified team that won the Olympic title back in '92, and still looking great. Swings with such ease, moves are never forced, which is the secret of successful work here. Moves very easily from one bar to the next, keeping all the time that good straight body, links the skills easily into this superbly difficult dismount.
And she's chasing 8.925 for a second gold. Is she going to do it?
Well, it wasn't too long a routine, so she didn't pick up too many deductions. You see, the legs are locked together, the arms are good and straight. The gymnast always has to weigh the inclusion of difficulty against the deductions. Look at this dismount.
The score is
Absolute
now coming
cracker,
through
wasn't
for
it?
Oksana Chusovitina.
8.925 she's chasing, and 9.1 she gets. It's a second gold. Once again a shared silver, but no doubt the gold medalist Oksana Chusovitina from Uzbekistan.
Now, without a doubt, gymnastics judges have to have the sharpest of eyes, and it would be fair to say that they probably have to be the most critical of all judges in any sport. Well, our next final is the men's pommel, and with us in this particular competition, we're lucky to have the world and Olympic champion, Marius Ozika. Now, most people will say he has the perfect routine, but to date, he still hasn't managed to score the perfect 10.
It's so hard for beginning. Good routine for. Don't make it no mistake, because just one little touch or 0.5 or 110, and it's too hard for make a perfect 10 score.
Well, that's what the world and Olympic champion thinks, but with me now is Mitch Bennett, our commentator. Mitch, he doesn't think it's possible, do you?
It's a tall order. The judges are looking for every single mistake. I think if he gets a 10, it'll be a miracle.
What is the code of points? Explain to us how the current code of points works for the judges.
Well, you start off, if you fulfill normal requirements, you can score a maximum of 8.8. That leaves 1.2, and the only way you can get those extra marks is to put the most difficult work together. It's almost impossible, and every single error the judges are spot. There's a code now that has devised a system where judges are only, there are 4 judges just looking for mistakes, not content, not difficulty.
Damn!
It's a really hard job.
How difficult then is Marius Ozika's routine?
It's the most difficult. It's technically the best exercise in gymnastics on any apparatus. We did a little exercise last year, got a couple of judges together and said, come on, if there was no limit to the start value, what's it worth? And they said, well, it's over 12. So the guy's starting from a score of over 12, and he still can't get 10.
Will it happen one day, do you think?
One day maybe, but the slightest brush, the slightest wrong hand position, and you're in the 9/8s, 9/9s.
Which is exactly what he said. Well, Mitch, I think the pommel final is about to start, and we need you in the commentary box. Go and get your skates on.
Thanks,
Thank
Suzanne.
you.
Dmitry Karvanenko. I wonder if he's capable of challenging the great Ozika. 28 years old now, a stalwart of French gymnastics, so often the pillar of Russian gymnastics, but since '98 been setting France alight with his expertise. And he's going extremely well. Watch for the position of the hands, that's what the judges will be doing. They've got to be absolutely parallel when he's travelling the horse, and there you saw a brush of the legs, and again. And it all adds up. But he swung beautifully through the pirouette, Garbanenko. It's a good exercise from him. Not his strongest apparatus. Now look at the hands. The shoulder transfer, very effective. He's a powerful man. And the contact with the horse, every time, a tenth. Put his toe on it then. But the dismount, smooth, efficient, complex. Garbanenko, challenging. And what will the judges make of that? 9.575 for the lead. And he set a good target for Izika to try and match, but Izika surely is out on his own. And here is the man undefeated for what seems to be years. I've tracked his progress. And the man is a total specialist. Look for a light swing, a fast swing, and a very, very clean performance. That's his hallmark. Remember, he said, you can't get a 10. Now this combination is unique to him. Multiple Stockleys, multiple Russians. This is what sets him apart. And look at the speed in the flare. Watch for contact. Superb work from Izika. I tell you, if it was in my power, I'd give him 10, but I know for a fact he hasn't got one yet. He said that. He said how difficult it was. But just look at this combination. Working through the flare, spindling a mile above the horse. Wonderful technician. The best around. Clearance, fluidity, and massive difficulty. Beautiful light frame, all those touches, immensely strong in support, which belies his appearance really. He's quite a slight fellow. And what a way to finish. Well then, I've seen him work. Oh, and he's got a 10. He has got a 10. Whatever next. That's the first time since this code has been introduced. Izika has cracked it. And look at his face. Wonderful. I never thought I'd be saying, but there it is. A 10 takes the gold on pommels. Garbanenko the silver, and Alexander Berish from Ukraine the bronze.
I'm so happy because today here in Glasgow I make it a super routine, and my dream, I see my dream with my eye, a perfect 10.
I'm not even going to attempt it, but the women did between the years of 1928 and 1948, when they used to compete in what was called the swinging rings. It's basically, they would swing, executing movements, but today it's strictly for the men. It's a discipline that requires an awful lot of upper body strength. So guys, if you haven't been working out in the gym just lately, I'd give it a miss if I were you.
Competition on rings at the moment is quite tough. We've got Jordan Yotchev, he's extremely good on the rings, and I'm looking forward to competing against all the boys that we have done. Competed against them in the DTB 2 weeks ago. I was first reserved for the final, so this time I'm in the final. I'm quite excited. I'm raring to go.
Representing Germany, we have Stefan.
Chris, did you ever swing on those rings?
Well, yes, we've all had a try at swinging on them, but I wouldn't like to attempt what these guys are going to show you.
And the first of those guys that we see, Stefan Zapf from Germany. 22 years old. He's a soldier, and it's first big international outing for him. And starts with a powerful combination. Didn't hold that cross for long enough though. It's important to hold those strength parts. That's better. Steadying those rings, keeping them as still as possible. Slight loss of body shape there. Building for the dismount. A double straight. Good solid landing from Stefan Zapf.
You can see the muscles working there. Just the shoulders are a little bit higher than the hands. The judges have got very specific requirements to watch here. All the holds have to be in line with the rings. And the gymnasts have to swing on straight arms as he did there. Lift into the dismount. A little bit bent knees there.
9.325. That's the target.
9.325. A very warm welcome to Scott Masita.
Young man, itching for his chance at this level, and it's arrived. Scott Masita from Great Britain, 22 years old, rejoices under the nickname of Koosh from the city of Stoke Gymnastics Club. British champion on this apparatus, and immensely powerful. Needs to get those shoulders down just a little. Amazing combination from Maltese to top planche. Biceps of steel there. Not to mention deltoids. Ooh, just a little wobble in the handstand, but this dismount really important to him. Double layout. Oh, and he's got a pace forward. Oh, what a shame. And you can see it in his face, Christine. Disappointment there.
Absolutely. The first rule in gymnastics, never lose your concentration until you're sit back down in the audience. All that great work. And he's done tremendous upper body strength work, Scott. He's had a long time injured and has really built his strength. Very good lines there. Just thinks he's landed before he has and leaves the feet behind.
Such a pity. He looks so good swinging, very good on the strength, and at the last gasp, that happens.
Coming up now for Scott.
He relived that a few times. 9.25. He would have been in the 9.6s and in the lead. What a pity for Scott Masita.
Our next gymnast is from Finland. It's Olli Torkol.
Olli Torkol from Finland, from Hattula. Now this young man's really worked on this apparatus. I can tell you that in 1999 he was 111th at the World Championships on rings. But when you see him, you'll notice the improvement. Truly amazing. Great start. Get the shoulders down. Heels need just to be a little higher there. And the shoulders dropping slightly low on the cross, but this is immensely strong. Torkol producing something special for him. This is important. Setting the handstand, making absolutely sure the dismount. Hang on a little bit too long in that pace. But that's a good effort from the Finn.
Yes, he was fighting all the way, wasn't he? Massive concentration. As Mitch said, just needed those shoulders a bit lower, but you can see the huge strength needed for these holds. And then the other side of the work, the swing and fluid movements, Very difficult to work like this without allowing the rings to swing.
Did he hang on too long here?
Yes, he'd almost completed one somersault before he threw the rings away.
He'll be delighted. 9.475. He's taken the lead. Thumbs up.
So to our next competitor, representing Bulgaria, it's Jordan Yovchev.
And Yovchev shared a silver on floor rings, better known for this event. World champion he was just a month ago. A bronze at the Olympic Games. A silver in the Europeans back in '96. Amazing control. Just look at that. Inverted cross. Maltese, head down. It'll come up in a minute. There it is. Consummate mastery here. Locks out in the handstand. The forward swing, tiniest of wobbles. But I tell you, he's on song. Full twist in the double layout, a dream landing. Yovchev on course for another medal. But what colour?
Well, he really looked the master, didn't he? Giving the young pretenders a little bit of a lesson. The shoulders were absolutely in line.
Won the World Championships on this piece of apparatus.
There were none of the little errors that we saw with some of the other gymnasts. And he's wearing a Great Britain leotard. I'm sure he can be a guest of the British team anytime he likes, especially with a great dismount like that.
They'll be queuing up for him. 9.85, another amazing score. And they thought this code was impossible to crack. Yovchev challenging it as well. Scott Masita did a great job down in fifth. What might have been gold to Yovchev, silver, surprise to Torkel, and Stefan Zapf, the bronze.
Well, I found my way into the competitors area, and I'm pleased to say I finally found Nicola Willis. Nicola, congratulations, you've made it through to the floor final. How do you feel about the competition you're up against?
Well, I'm pleased to get through at the start, but there's hard competition, but as long as I do my best, then I'll be pleased.
Who do you worry about the most?
Everyone's good in their own way, but Oksana Tushvita is very good, and the Americans, there's lots of good competitors.
Now, we've got the Commonwealth Games coming up next year, of course. How important are these sort of competitions to be entering at this stage?
It's best to do your very best and achieve the best goals, then you can prove that you can perform well. But we've got trials next year and lots of good juniors coming up, so I'll be hoping to do as good as I can.
And how strong do you feel about your chances of making the team?
Well, I'd like to get in, but no one knows yet, so.
Well, we keep our fingers crossed, and good luck this afternoon for the floor final.
And those Commonwealth Games will be in July, starting on the 26th in 2002. Nicola will be there, Chris.
Well, she's got a very strong claim because she's really a specialist on the floor exercise. Really a strong tumbler. Very good double straight, just that unfortunate step out. And just a little bit of dance work and then returns with another powerful tumble. Double pike, much cleaner landing. Sell the performance now a little. Completed the jumps and spins that the code requires. A difficult combination.
Bit of a long pause there.
Yes, there is. They'll deduct a little bit, but she's gathering herself for this very difficult tumble. Front somersault. Well landed 2.5 twist. A very good, clean routine from Nicola.
She tumbles very well. Very high. Lovely double layout. Pity about the foot out, that's a 10th. Front step out combination. 2.5 twists, but just around the corner.
8.6 for Nicola Willis. The judges quite severe on their deductions for those little errors, but that's the difference between the medalists. And this is Ashley Postel, the first American performer we've seen. And in fact, this is the first time the Americans have been to the Grand Prix in Glasgow. A new face on the international scene. Well, she landed very cleanly, a good triple twist. Not quite round on that double turning tuck jump. The gymnasts are hoping to persuade the judges to give them bonus marks for these jumps. Oh, but very cleanly landed the double Arabian. We've had two very difficult tumbles. What are we in for next? A third that collects good bonus marks. Clean performance. You see her puffing a little there, building for this fourth tumble. Double pike somersault. Perhaps a little immature in the performance, but nothing immature about the tumbling.
Superb difficulty from her. And they start, Christine, don't they, with 8.8, just like the men?
That's right, and now this tumble gained a 0.2 bonus. So she's out of 9 after that tumble. Another 0.1 bonus for this tumble, and that is how they gradually build the difficulty up.
That's a long haul to go from 8.8 to 10. 9.075 for Ashley Postel and the lead.
As Mitch said, it is a long haul to 10, and here we see Verona van der Leur. That's why the gymnasts have to put so much difficulty in the floor routine. It really has to be jammed full. Full twisting double pike just held it in. Quite the trend to do one difficult tumble and immediately another one. But it is necessary for the gymnast to do difficult jumps like this and also give an expressive performance. There is now a 0.3 given for artistic impression. The judges have to decide how much of that 0.3 to give. Been very clean, given away very few marks in errors. Very good triple twist to finish. Really a very clean exercise.
She was silver on vault, silver on A-bars. Was that a gold medal winning performance from her?
Well, it could well be. Look, full twisting double back. That's a D difficulty. That gives her a 0.1 bonus. And in order to cram in the difficulty, the 2.5 into the full twisting front somersault, the gymnast packed the tumbles together.
Tumbles high and clean for a tall girl, doesn't she?
She does, and she's slight, but very, very good technique. Look how cleanly round that triple twist.
Lovely smile, and a 9.125 for her treble. Could it be gold at last for her? Oksana Shusevitana, 26 years old and a mother, took some time out between 97 and the year 2000 to give birth, but she's back and looking extremely good.
And such an effortless gymnast. It just doesn't look difficult. Double straight, half in, half out.
Did I see these tumbles 10 years ago in Indianapolis, Christine?
Well, she was performing tumbles like this, but she's always been renowned for being a rather unexpressive gymnast, and I think you can still see that a little bit here. Beautiful height in all her jumps, but remember, there's quite an amount of score allotted for artistry.
How many of those 3/10 will she get?
Probably not as many as all that. And just a bit untidy on the double twist there as well. She performs rather just mechanically, very rarely involves her head in the whole movement. Very effective and efficient though. She really has done 3 very big tumbles, and what are we going to see to finish? Sky-high double pipe.
Well, she's looking for 8.925 to get into the medals. What do you think?
I think she was a little short on the spins, the leaps. It's a combination of the two. The tumbling was marvellous.
You could say that again. Look at the height in that.
But it has to be a combination of the dance work, the tumbling, the whole performance. But that's great technique, isn't it?
Super tumbler. Look at the height in that.
Just gives herself so much time in the air. Legs beautifully together, but except in the twisting element, she's always been less comfortable twisting.
What will the judges make of that? 8.9! Surprise!
Well, she's not as artistic, and they obviously felt that was important.
Well, it showed. She's out of the medals. Third to Kuznetsova, silver to Postal, gold to the Netherlands, Verona van der Leer. Here she is. The powerful frame of Dmitry Karvanenko. He's had some troubles in his life over the past 2.5 to 3 years. Sadly, lost his wife in childbirth, and the little daughter Oksana travels everywhere with him. This one's for her. I think he'll want to win gold. And it's a great vault, superb!
Well, judges, where are you going to take the marks off that? Hit the platform, lifted high, 2 somersaults, absolutely rock solid landing. Wonderful
stuff, and it starts, would you believe, only from 9.8. That was the start value, 9.625. They're a bit severe, I thought.
Well, yes, I suppose he split his legs slightly on the front somersaults, little deduction, but now he has to match it with a second vault.
So often the problem for these gymnasts. A second vault in the locker makes a champion. It's the second vault that counts, the average of the two. Oh, and he undercut it just a little, a double twist in the Sukahara.
Didn't attack it in quite the same manner, did he? Even down the runway, the turn onto the horse, the 2 twists, but just didn't lift off the horse well enough.
Well, he's saying it's tough out there. 9.325 the second, 9.475 is the average. It'll take a bit of beating. Sapronenko. The man that shared the silver with Yurchev on floor has some really difficult work. He's the man who many feel should have won gold in Ghent. He got a silver medal there on this apparatus. He's capable of immense difficulty. How's that for starters?
Well, we thought it was fantastic when we first saw Sukahara performing the half turn on and the back somersault. Now they can do 2 somersaults in the flight off and keep inside the lines.
9.525, slightly down on Karbanenko, but the second vault will be the decider. Evgeny Safronenko chasing 9.475 as an average.
Oh, a very good double front, but quite a big hop on landing, and unfortunately he hopped out of line. These 2 lines down the side of the mats tell the judges whether the gymnasts are dead in line with the platform, and he wasn't.
They've given it 9.425, that gives them an average of 9.475. Justice is done, neither one deserved to beat the other. They share the gold. Karbanenko, Safronenko share the honours. Ionescu from Romania takes bronze.
Now, I was just a little bit older than these young girls behind me when I first saw gymnastics on the television, and I was glued to the TV for the duration of the 1972 Munich Olympics for one reason only. She was a young girl with bunches, very cute, and she set the gymnastics world alight. Her name was Olga Korbut.
Oh, they love that. That is beautiful. 17 years of age, look at that.
Now, people remember Olga Korbut for lots of reasons, but a couple come to mind. She showed the world 2 faces of gymnastics. She showed the tears and the jubilation. Back in the 1972 Olympics, Olga took a bad fall from the asymmetric bars. She came off in floods of tears, she cried her eyes out, and the world opened their heart to her. But within a few moments, she'd got herself together and she got up on the beam and she did a routine that won her the individual gold medal. Within that routine, she performed a standing back somersault. It had never been done before, and it was very, very difficult. Today, what the girls perform on this beam, 4 inches of suede-covered wood, I couldn't even imagine being done on the floor.
Verona van der Leur from the Netherlands is our first competitor on the beam. And like Suzanne said, it has moved on a long way from the days of Olga Korbut. Somersaults are commonplace, and in fact we even see the odd full twisting somersault. And there we see the full twisting backflip immediately, preceded by quite a difficult jump as well. And there's the back somersault with the legs straight. Just a little error, a couple of steps back, and she's had a tiny wobble there as well. She's very, very good at the turning movements. Little pauses. The gymnasts get their scores by linking difficult moves together, and although she attempted there, she had slight pauses.
Very elegant gymnast.
Yes, very good amplitude in the handstand phase. But the tiny errors not only cost in deductions, but also in the lower start value. The judges don't give you your bonuses if the linkages aren't clean. And of course, you then have to finish with a difficult dismount like that. 2.5 twists, very precise.
One of the heroes is Boginskaya, and reminiscent here The way she approaches the apparatus, you saw a little dip of the shoulders there. But 2.5 twists to wrap it up very nicely indeed.
8.775 for Verona van der Leur. Those little wobbles cost her dearly.
These girls got to do to get a 9, for goodness sake, on the beam.
An awful lot of work. They probably need to include full twists. Here's Ashley Postel from America. Front somersault to start. Every length has to be crammed with difficulty. Those turning jumps, they're so difficult. You see the beams so late. And that was a good clean linkage. And not only do you have to perform all this difficulty, you have to look elegant and effortless at the same time.
Sign of a virtuoso, that.
That is indeed. They also want it to be a dynamic performance. If it's too cautious, if you look like you're being desperately careful, the judges deduct then as well. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And a big deduction if you grasp the apparatus like that. Just spoiled her rhythm a little bit. Good combination. The whistle to say she has to dismount. And triple twist, not quite round there, but a very good effort.
2 7/8.
That's right. There's the front somersault. Feet weren't planted firmly as she landed. The triple not quite round, so she won't get the bonus points she was after, and she will get a little deduction as well.
Calculations, deliberations. 8.775 she needs, and she gets 8.825. Postel takes the beam. Uzbekistan's Oksana Shusevitina takes bronze to add it to her 2 golds. Van der Leur, the silver. Ashley Postel, there she is, the gold. World champion Sean Townsend on parallel bars, making those vital last-minute preparations.
Well, in order to be the top 3 contender for a medal, you have to have difficulty, which you have to start from a 10-0, and then you have to have a clean routine with no deductions, form breaks, and then most important, you have to stick your dismount, which that's very important to win.
And here he is. Disappointment in the all-around competition leading into the last apparatus. Did so well on the parallel bars. Dropped from 1st to 8th, but made up for it by taking gold here on this apparatus. Sean Townsend. Sharp combinations. Secure in the handstand, a little bit quick through it there though. Final adjustment. Flying back with a slight dip at the elbows. The double pike with a pace. It's a good routine.
A good routine, but like he said, you have to nail the dismount, and you could see from his shake of the head, he knew he didn't do that.
The continuous swinging is the hallmark of a great specialist on the apparatus. And he can do that.
Yes, very light feel as he works. Just readjusts himself, lifts up high, doesn't quite measure the exit from the pike.
Well, he said it, and what's it cost him? 9.575, still a good score. Andrew Vivo from Spain. 23 years old. He was 5th in the World Cup final on parallels. That was back in '98 in Sabay. He's from Barcelona. And some of the Spanish gymnasts, they can turn up some beautiful performances. Unusual, daring, innovative. And let's see if we can get one from Vivo. Steady start. Super Diamondov on the end, lovely transfer, and the height in the tip out, very unusual. Usually just scrape the bar, not this one. Nice transfer, beautiful, a flourish with the arm in the full twist. Good to see the swinging element and the double pike. Again, a little hop back when he thinks it's good. Offers a prayer. That will do, he said.
Really, that extra little bit of time on the apparatus for me. Beautifully timed elements and turns.
He knows his way around that wood, doesn't he?
He does. He lets the apparatus work with him. They're just the tiniest of hops, but a lot cleaner landing, I think, than Townsend's.
Well, that 9.575 from Townsend doesn't look quite secure. I didn't think so. 9.75. The man from Spain. Looking good. Gold on rings. Shared silver on floor. He's having a great outing. Jordan Jurchev from Bulgaria. A real character. And you'll see what he can do here. He's had a good medal haul. If he goes home with another medal, it'll be a way of celebrating the birth of his new baby. That is amazing. Front uprise, immediate double back. Arms like a gorilla. Superb stuff. And just injecting a lovely flying back. Good double pike. He's a good all-rounder as well, isn't he, Christine?
He certainly is, and he's a gymnast that seems to have got better with the years. Really seen his technique improve there. The double somersault. Recovers so well. It's no good just throwing the tricks. You have to be able to integrate them into the routine. Work into them and out of them, just as he shows there.
I'll tell you what, he's the only one that doesn't wear any arm protection when he does those double backs. Powerful.
And really finished the second somersault above the height of the bars.
9.275. Bronze medal position to add to his silver on floor and his gold on rings. Gold to the excellent Vivo, silver for Townsend, Jordan Jurchev there again with a bronze.
Now, it was on this piece of apparatus that the American Sean Townsend had an absolute disaster at the World Championships. He took a fall, which basically cost him the all-around world title. Now, a lot of people would say that this is the most spectacular piece of apparatus in the men's competition. It's certainly one where the guys can really let themselves go.
As long as they don't let the apparatus go, Suzanne. That's the trick. The big releases, safely caught. That wins the medals. Andrew Vivo, having taken gold on parallel bars. Of course, he's a teammate and a clubmate of Jesus Carvalho, the world champion on this apparatus 2 years ago. So he trains with the best, and he's capable of great work. Full twist in the Kovac. Makes it look so easy. Did you miss it? There it is again, that time without a twist. Equally impressive. A little bit of one arm. It's all in there. Lovely touch. The invert kick out. But here, crucial, and it was a beaut. Double twisting, double straight. What a day he's having.
And he really is a great technician, isn't he, Mitch? Lovely body line. The body is as straight as can be. Even in that complex somersault, knees locked together. Kicks over the bar, sees it early, able to catch and work immediately out of it. Can see how he changes the shape of the swing depending on the next release, and that was the dismount, 2 twists and 2 straight somersaults.
Absolutely nailed from about 4 meters in the air. Unbelievable. 9.65. That'll take some beating. You can't tell from his face, can you? Another tall man, Alexander Yelkov, Commonwealth Games champion on this apparatus and world silver medalist back in '99. Born in Georgia, made his home in Montreal and doing great things for Canadian gymnastics. Superb. And these experts on the apparatus seem to find that extra time to make it look easy. And there's the difference in the two routines.
Yep, the step back on the landing. However, I would have to say that even in his wind-ups, even as he accelerated his giants for the difficult moves, he still kept that great form round the legs. Grasps, yes, grasps so cleanly. Gets the hands on early. There we are, kicks into the dismount. Takes the feet right over the bar as he releases, and that was what caused the little bit of extra rotation.
It'll be close. 9.625. That pace made the difference. He's in second place to Vivo. And the Finns have a great tradition with this apparatus. Jari Monkanen, 27-year-old. His teammate Tanskanen took gold to everyone's surprise in '97. And the Finns, ever since, have impressed on this apparatus. Look at that. We talked about style. Try and take a tenth off for bad legs here. Just watch. Superb. Drifts and floats through the combinations. This is very special. Big wind up. Dream dismount. Jari Monkanen. He said, "Where are you, Tanskanen? I could beat you now."
Just so unhurried. It just hung there. All the moves, look at the time he had above the bar. You see as the bar dips down, he lets it lift him high above it. You time that release correctly, and the bar works with you. And he is a great exponent of that. Just lifts it up, wraps him for the 2 twists, opens the arms out, and it's easy.
It's fabulous. To come from that height, blinding, and all those twists, and nailing the landing. There he is, 9.775, he can't believe it. We should congratulate him too. Coach to gymnast, fabulous job. Well, we're used to seeing him on pommel horse. And would you believe, Christine, that when he was a young lad, this was his favourite apparatus. He had to be told to specialise on pommels.
Well, I guess it's every young lad's favourite apparatus. There's nothing quite like the feel of flying through the air.
But he's not quite at home here. A few little form faults creeping in. Slightly offline. Oh, and more offline there. Come on, Oziger, stay on. Coach is ready. Not needed. Great to see. Oh, look at his legs. He wouldn't do that on the pommel horse. Well done, Marius. Is it gold though, Christy?
I don't think so. I think that was a bit more of a gritty performance than a great performance. That's the sort of performance as a coach you want to see. Even when it's not going so well, you keep fighting. But really, he just didn't quite time all the moves correctly. He fought the apparatus a little bit on this occasion. Although this was a superb release. Full twisting Jaeger. Just allowed lack of tension as he caught. And that reverberated with split legs. Dismount, not quite so clean.
Well, 9.55, even he, look at him. He knows that was generous. But then if he gets 10 on pommels, the judges bound to be influenced. Mazika, smiling. Jari Munkanen, superb for 9.775, gold above Vivo, and in third, Yelkov.
Well, congratulations to all our champions of the Grand Prix and World Cup qualifier. We've seen some outstanding performances, but two people stick in my mind. Oksana Chosepatina, who's shown it's still possible to be a world beater and a mother at the grand old age of 26. Also, Marius Erzica, who has proved that it's still possible to have the perfect routine. He didn't think he could do it at the beginning of this competition, but he proved himself wrong with his perfect 10 routine on the pommel horse. We hope you've enjoyed the gymnastics from all of us here at the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow. Till next time, it's goodbye.
Coming up at 4:30. Gymnastics Championship, which was held in St. Petersburg earlier this year.
Some familiar and some new faces among the 24 contenders in this all-around competition. And in both categories we have Annika Rieder and Lisa Mason, her first year at senior level. The usual 4 pieces of apparatus, and we're all set for the start of the 22nd Women's Gymnastics Championship. This, on beam, is Elvira Teza of France.
One of the very successful French team from the last Olympic Games. And that's the very unusual move named after her. Smooth and well extended tumble, but just a slight hesitation at the end. A more unusual combination. And a similar move used along the beam, the full twist. Just gets ready for the dismount. The 2.5 twist, very well landed. Difficult to spot, but a steady start for Elvira Teza.
17 years old now, just a couple of years ago. She was 4th in the junior competition in Europe.
This, the full twisting Corbett flip, the chest roll down to the beam.
.675 she receives. Now on the asymmetric bars, there's a new face to me. I don't know whether to Mitch, Martina Bramini of Italy.
She made her debut at high-level competition in the Junior European.